coming at you from the realm of potentiality. This is where all manifestations find their origination from, in this pure potentiality of blackness that you're looking at right now. So what you're dealing with is the symbol of the Asar. I tell you, I am that which encompasses all. You better believe that. That which encompasses all is blackness. We are all in the universal uterus of the goddess Heteru. Me and you. So, I just wanted to give you guys some information about something that I was thinking about. Okay, first thing is that book that I was talking about called The Spirit of Light, The Serpent of Light, Beyond 2012 by this guy. His name is Dzurimbalo. How do you say this? Dzurimbalo Melchizedek is what this guy's name is. Now, ironic as it might sound, I'm going to share something that's very, very bizarre with you guys. And I'm going to show you how spirit works. Now, you all remember Prime Creator used to have that YouTube page called Sirius B 333. His name is Morris Donaldson. He used to talk about this guy. I didn't know that. Okay, when I showed you this book in a couple of videos back, I was telling you that it was a good book. I still believe that. I still believe it's a good book. But I've started reading it. I made a comment about it to some people because, you know, it's really whitewashed. It really is. It's our information as melanated people, but it does hit on a few things that is correct. And a lot of things in here is correct. But I agree with Morris Donaldson. There's a lot of stuff in here that's just been lily whitewashed. And so before a lot of people read this book and figure out that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, I just want you to know that with every book, you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to take what works for you and use it, and what doesn't work for you, you just, you know, that's just part of the deal. But I'm not saying that it's garbage. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying to you is that, okay, let me explain to you some of the stuff that he talk about. Like, I don't really feel like reading this book right now because it's really late, but I will try to elaborate from memory what I'm talking about. He explains the Kundalini serpent power energy, but he doesn't call it serpent power energy. He just called it serpent energy. Now, I read this book by a guy named Walter Ashby, and he wrote his book. His book was called The Serpent Power Energy, and it explained that the serpent power energy was the electromagnetic spectrum of the earth that controlled and regulated everything in the universe, from the planets, the stars, the water, the soil, including us people, if you will. This serpent power energy is God. That's really the truth about it. You know, we have been all misled into accepting something different than self as God, but if you really want to know the truth, you could not exist if you did not have this serpent power energy inside of you. Now, the way you make it be at its highest effective peak is by reading books. Instructions in the books tell you what type of diets you should be eating and what type of books you should be reading, what type of people you should be hanging out with. All this stuff is important. And let me tell you, when you start getting results and your Kundalini energy starts rising and everything, you feel a lot of resentment from people, especially family members. You know, they just treat you like shit because they don't understand. When other people start wanting to talk to you and showing you attention and wanting to get your knowledge, it causes a lot of envy and jealousy with people. So just like Bobby Hemmett said, when you start reading these metaphysics, you're going to have to be a loner. The Bible says the same thing too. A prophet cannot tarry amongst his family. That means that they don't want to hear shit. They don't want to hear shit you have to say. Your family be the most jealous people of all when they see the God light. Come on, people, you don't have no clue how jealous some people can get. They tell you that the envy and the jealousy comes from the cold hearts, the ones that is so unpure. Only the pure at heart will be able to accept the God, man, or woman. It's real simple like that. So this guy name is Drunvalo Melchizedek, and this book is called Serpent of Light, the movement of the Kundalini energy.
Oh, you're reading? I thought when he was talking to you.
Oh,
you sounded just like Aaron. That was weird.
He left, huh?
Oh,
I got
left?
this. Yeah, I got this thing recording, Steve.
Oh my.
It's for YouTube. It's okay. It's all right, bro. Oh.
Do your thing. I'll be back.
Okay, sir. Okay, it says to our ancestors who still live within our hearts and who someday will again walk with us into the future. So now, this guy, Drunvalo Melchizedek, is a Caucasian. I found that out from reading it. I'm going to let you know right now. That's what he is. Not that that matters, but I just think that it's really amazing to hear a Caucasian person speak about the ancestors. Okay, here we go. Life is amazing. Every 13,000 years on Earth, a sacred and secret event takes place that changes everything. An event that changes the very course of history. And at this moment, this very event is occurring, but only a few people know. And most of those who do know have kept it quiet and hidden until now. What I'm speaking about is the Earth Kundalini. Connected to the center of the Earth is an energy that appears and behaves much like a snake, as it moves similar to the way Kundalini energy moves in the human body. So see, the Kundalini energy that's in the earth is the same Kundalini energy that's in the body. It doesn't move similar to it. It is the same thing. They move together. We can't see units with the Kundalini energy. This Kundalini energy is the life force that permeates in all things on the earth. It's God. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. What I'm going to speak about is the Earth Kundalini. Connected to the center of the Earth is energy that appears and behaves much like a snake, as it moves similar to the way Kundalini energy moves in the human body. It is this energy that gives rise to spiritual seekers, everyone on Earth. See? It's spirit that can rise. That's God. Not only in the ashrams and kankas and monasteries of the world, but also even in ordinary life and ordinary people who in their own way are seeking God. The Earth Kundalini is the secret energy that is connected to the hearts of all mankind. The Earth Kundalini is always attached to a single location on the surface of the Earth and stays there for a period of about 13,000 years. But then it moves to a new location for the next 13,000 years based upon cycles of time, or what we call the precession of the equinox. And when it moves, our ideal of what spiritual means changes. It transforms according to the new energies of the future cycle, leading us into a higher spiritual path. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if I really should say that this is wrong, because I can't prove that it's wrong, because I can't 100% be sure that it's wrong, but it's totally different than what I've learned about this Kundalini energy. What I've learned about this Kundalini energy is that it's everywhere, all over the planet simultaneously. It's not just in no certain spots and then move from Tibet to Africa and from Africa to here. It don't work like that. If it's in every human being, then why do we have to have a specific location on the earth? See, this is why you got to scrutinize every book that you read. Okay, this Kundalini energy that this book is speaking about is life force energy. That's what it is. It's just that we call it everything else except for the serpent power energy, and that's what it is. That's why the Europeans had to tarnish the serpent and make it be such a bad thing, because the main thing they're working on is trying to extract your life force from you. So if you think that the snake is bad, right away you're attacking your own Kundalini energy, your own life force, because you can't look at a snake as being bad, because a snake only does what everything else does. It has to eat, and it has a defense mechanism that happens to be things with poison in it. And if you get near a snake and he bites you, that doesn't make him no evil No more evil than someone who would shoot you or stab you or drown you or hit you in the head with a club. All this stuff human beings do, but we don't find ourselves being as decorated to be so evil as we will tarnish the snake. And that's only because of the damage was done to it in the European Bible when they tell you the snake was in the garden and enticed Eve to sin. Because they knew that the serpent power energy was the direct energy source of us melanated people, so they had to make that be taboo. Okay, the biggest picture is that the Kundalini has two poles, and one is in the exact center of the earth, the other is located on the surface somewhere, and anywhere in the world. It is the consciousness of the earth herself that decides where it is to be. And there is a pause of exactly 12,920 years when the polarity of the earth Kundalini changes to the opposite pole, and it simultaneously changes locations on the surface of the earth. This new location not only rapidly wakes up the people living near this sacred point on the earth, but also it sends a frequency into electromagnetic grids around the earth. This in turn affects those consciousness grids in ways that are determined by the earth's DNA. We grow according to a set plan and design. To the few that know of this event and what is occurring all around us, a wisdom is transferred in a peaceful state of being becomes their inheritance. For they know the awesome truth in the midst of chaos, war, starvation, plagues, environmental crisis, and midst of moral breakdown that we are all experiencing here on earth today at the end of this cycle. They understand the transition and know no fear. That's me. That's really the truth. See, when you have this Kundalini energy turned on to the top, you know that it's kind of fear there, but you know you don't have to fear like most people fear. The anxieties and stuff is not really there. What you be more than anything is really in sorrow to see the ignorance on the world and know that it's self-inflicted by the people ignorance. What I mean is this: if someone comes to you and tell you, you know, you guys keep doing all that damn Christmas shopping and all that money you spend at Christmas time, the people who gets that money from these corporations, they use that money to buy tanks and to come up with methods to keep you more and more dumb and dulled down so they can make foolish Christmas shoppers out of you. Then instead of you listening to me, you get mad at me. And that's just what the corporations put in you when they were sitting up talking about bah humbug. And anyone who felt that way about Christmas right away was scorned and looked down on as a troublemaker. Well, that's just what happened to me. But I watch everybody else on the world go out and give money to the people I know is trying to kill us all. And I'll be like, who's the dumb one? Me or them? It's them, not me. I'll be dumb if I don't do my job that I came here to do. So I'm going to do it whether they like it or not. So go ahead and keep on with your Christmas shopping, because I'm going to tell you something. All the Christmas shopping is going to just turn on more tornadoes, because it shows ignorance and it shows, yep, that's why I'm getting their ass on out of here, because this is the shit been going on forever and they haven't gotten it yet, so let's send some more tornadoes. Okay. To the few that know of this event and what is occurring all around us, a wisdom is transferred, and a peaceful state of being becomes their inheritance. For they know the awesome truth in the midst of chaos, war, starvation, plagues, environmental crisis, and moral breakdown that we are all experiencing here on earth today at the end of this cycle. They understand the transition and know how fear. This fearless and know no fear. This fearless state is the secret key to the transformation that for millions of years has always followed this sacred cosmic event. On one level, this means that spiritually the female will now have her turn to lead mankind, womankind, into the new light. They got womankind in the parentheses. They say mankind first, then they put womankind into the parentheses, which is the way it should be, because woman got man in it and womb. So that'll be the better word. Instead of this earth being called mankind, it should be womankind, because the man comes from the woman. So he's kind of a woman because he came out of a woman. Do you understand? You're not going to take the man doing